Hi, it's Leslie Mink, your independent Pampered Chef consultant, helping you succeed in the kitchen without spending all day in it. And I'm doing some prep work for our dinner tonight. We're going to do a new recipe, and we're going to use the new Pampered Chef Buttered Chicken Meal Mix and the Indian Style Rice Mix. So I'm prepping some chicken, and I was going to show you guys the twist and chop, and I went to move it back, and I hit the on button for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. And that's how chopped up in 2 seconds the onion was. So maybe another second and it will be done. And that is fine. Finely chopped. Look at that. Crazy how quickly this thing works. So we're going to move that out of the way for now. And I am cutting up some chicken. So I hope you can see that. I'll tilt you down just a little bit. So I've got my closing cut here, and I usually do this right-handed, so we'll see if I can do it left-handed. And this was a super big chicken breast, but look at that. Got it cut right in half. Ta-da! And I'm going to cut that into smaller portions. I'm doing this backwards, y'all, because I am not a lefty, I'm a righty. So let's pull this over here. And we'll just cut this up. This is our chef's knife from our Foundations knife set. Get a little of that fat out of there. We don't want that. A little more of it there. So we're going to use about 1.5 pounds of chicken. And this chicken breast is so big, it might just be all that we need. This single chicken breast. We might use half of another one, we'll see. Do you like big chunks of chicken or really small chunks of chicken in your butter chicken? Or have you never tried butter chicken? I have never tried it. So this will be a first for me and my family. We have some that are more courageous than others about trying new things. I know my sister and her husband are really good about trying different ethnic foods. It's something that has always impressed me with them. Look how easily that knife goes through. I'm not really putting a whole lot of pressure on there. I might cut these just a little bit smaller, so they go a little further. But this knife set comes, I think you may have seen a recent video that I did. It comes with your 4 foundation knife pieces that you have in every kitchen. So it's got your chef's knife, your bread knife, your utility knife, and a paring knife. So, and then it's in a beautiful, let me see if I say this right, acacia wood knife block that can either go on your counter or in a drawer, depending on how you fold it. And then y'all know I love my flexible cutting mats. I'm putting all this chicken into a 3-cup prep bowl. Now, I don't know if my younger 2 kiddos are going to try this buttered chicken or not. I'm hoping that they will. Okay, so that is 1 chicken breast, y'all. This is crazy. All right, I will be right back with more. All right, we're ready to start our butter chicken. So I'm going to turn our eye on and get our pan heating up. This is one of our new stainless steel non-stick skillets. It's 4.5 quarts. And I'm just using our oil and vinegar dispenser. I've squeezed this 3 times to get a tablespoon, and I'm gonna give it just a minute to warm up before I add that oil. This is our butter chicken mix. All you have to add to this is the vegetable oil, the diced onion, chicken breast or thighs, whichever one you prefer, half a cup of butter and a can of crushed tomatoes, and then you add the meal mix and some heavy cream, and your meal is made. And then for our rice, we're going to go ahead and pour in 1 2/3 cup water into our pan. Get that going. Once that starts to boil, we will add in the Indian style rice meal mix. And all you need is the water and the meal mix. We're just going to bring it to a boil, like I said, and add this and reduce it to low. Let it cook for about 3 minutes, and then remove it from the heat and let it stand for 8 minutes. So hopefully I will watch my time. And then you can get both of these plus our new flatbread for $20. The rice, it's 6 servings of a half a cup, and this makes 6 servings as well, and so does the flatbread. How convenient. So you can get that on my website for $20, an easy meal for 6 people. I don't think you can go to a restaurant these days and get a meal for 6 people for $20. If you do, please let me know where you're going. All right, so we're just gonna add that oil, let it heat up a bit. And we'll go ahead and use our smooth edge can opener and open our can of tomatoes, so that is ready. Love this can opener. So you twist this way to cut it, and then you give it a half twist back to disengage the blade, and it goes on the top this way. Don't try and use it this way, it won't work. You gotta use it on the top edge, and it removes that. And then you just use these little parrot beak. I don't know if I can do this without it being on the counter. There we go. Pulls right off. All right, just gonna toss that in the trash. Put this back up. All right, we're gonna get our onions into our pan. Get some of that sizzle. So I was so sad, I was ready to show you guys this twist and chop, which I know you saw a little bit of it, but I can't believe that I ended up accidentally pressing the button and everything was already done, and literally it was 2 seconds or less. Now this is probably too big a pan for this meal, but my other pan that I usually use was dirty, so we go with what we've got, right? So just stir that up a bit. This is the same material as my wok is. And y'all know I love my wok, especially for Thai Thai. Do you say Pai Thai or Pad Thai? Which way do you say it? So just gonna let those cook down a bit. We'll go ahead and open our meal mix so that it is ready to go. Look how easily that opened. Thank you, Pampered Chef. I had to put my glasses on so that I can read these instructions. I know y'all aren't used to seeing me with my glasses. Just a touch more. They don't have to be super done. Just a little bit golden brown. Because they're going to cook more in the sauce in just a minute. I'm going to add our chicken in here. I love the smell of onions cooking. Alright, so we've got 1 1/2 chicken breasts. These were huge chicken breasts. Put those in. Perfect fit in the 3-cup bowl. Alright, I don't know if you've heard me say this before or not, but one of the hardest things to do once you put something on the stove or on the grill is to leave it alone. And I've learned with Pampered Chef to leave my chicken alone when I put it in there, to leave my ground beef alone, to get it that nice sear. And sometimes I have to walk away so that I don't grab the spoon again and start mixing. Are you a constant mixer when you cook? Or do you let things simmer? Alright, so our water is almost to a boil. So you're going to open that up. Look in there. Rebecca's going to love it because it has peas. The rest of us will have to endure. I haven't had Indian food, so this will be a very new experience for me. This is our brilliant pan. Quickly stir it and turn that down. And we let that simmer for 3 minutes. Set my timer here. Let's see if I need to cover that. Yep. Lid. Now, this lid has drain holes, so if you're doing something like steaming vegetables, you can twist it. If you're making rice, twist it so that the holes are on this side and not where the spouts are. That will reduce your steam coming out. Alright, I've got my 3-minute timer going. Alright, my chicken's looking good. We're going to go ahead and give it a little flip around. Look how pretty that is. And that nice round base. And so those onions are still cooking. Read my instructions here because this is the first time I have made this. Alright, so we need to add the tomatoes. And the meal mix. And the butter. Definitely flavorful. At least fragrant. Make sure we got it all out of there. Keep my instructions over here. And we're going to add our butter. Let me grab a knife. Just going to chunk it up a little bit here. Alright. I got a hot spot on the spoon. That chicken is going to continue to cook in there with the tomatoes, onions, and the butter, because you can't have buttered chicken without butter. Keep melting that down. I'm going to stir it around a bit just so that butter gets incorporated. Alright, our 3-minute timer for our rice is up, so we're going to turn the heat off. Move it back. And we're going to set an 8-minute timer on here. That's a lot easier than doing it on my watch. It has a preset for 1, 3, 5, 10, and 30, I think. But anything else, you gotta make it yourself. Alright, so I'm gonna let that cook down just a little bit. I'll wash the butter off my hands. I always feel like I wash my hands about 15 million times. I'm gonna move this back just a little bit. My setup in here is pretty precarious. My chair is holding my camera. I wish I could identify the smells, the seasonings in here. Let's see. Just says spices. Keeping it a secret. What are some Indian spices that you know of? Curry is what comes to mind for me. Are you a curry fan? I'm going to grab our heavy cream. The rest of those tomatoes out of there. Mix it in just a little bit. Alright, let's double check our recipe here. Once we have cooked those for about 5 minutes, so we're almost there. Then we're going to stir in the cream, reduce the heat to low, and simmer for 8 to 10 minutes. So this has been pretty quick. I'm going to grab our heavy cream and be right back. Use our measure cup that I used for the water. You just need 1 cup of heavy cream. So you all know that one side of this measure cup does your ooey gooey, sticky, and solid foods, and then this side does your liquid. And then see how you can turn it over and use this side for your ooey gooey, sticky, icky stuff. One more stir before I add in the cream. It's looking good. I may have to move this to the eye behind it, to our simmering eye. This one stays pretty hot. This is our quick boil eye, and it does stay super hot. So I'm going to turn this off and turn the back one on. Grab my handle protectors. Move that back a bit. These things are great. Use them on the lids. You can use them on the handles like you just saw me do. It will save your fingers some agony. Just keep mixing this in a little bit so that heavy cream gets incorporated fully with the tomatoes and the chicken and the butter. I'm going to let that simmer for 8 to 10 minutes, and then dinner will be ready. I will show you the finished product shortly. All right, our timer just went off for our rice. Let's take a look. Look at that. Nice and fluffy and very fragrant. It almost has like cardamom or maybe star anise kind of scent to it. And let that just continue to sit there while our chicken finishes up. It's got about 4 minutes for our chicken to be done. All right, we are ready to dish this up. Bring our rice a little closer. Shove just a little bit of that rice. And then some of that buttered chicken. It's such a pretty color. Just doing some small portions, since this is a new to us dish. All right, here you go. Unfortunately, we don't have the flatbread to go with it, but that's okay. We are gonna eat it up anyway. So what do you think?
Oh, good.